Hey guys, I'm Shamor.
And I'm Lex.
And together we are
More of Lex. And by the grace of God, we're coming to you with another video.
Another one.
Next question we're going to ask is, what do you need and expect from each other in terms of openness and depth of communication?
Ooh, all right. I could really speak to this one because that was a struggle for us when we first started.
Yeah.
That was a big struggle for us because we have two entirely different ways of communicating. Me, I tend to be very precise when I speak. The reason why I do that is because I need you, and I need you to understand what I'm saying. I need to explain it in the most understandable way so that you can get where I'm coming from and so that we can reach a mutual understanding. And
I'm more general.
Yeah.
Let me just say the basic, simplest form of it so we can move on and get past it. But every single time I say something general, he always asks a question for me to have to go another layer. And I'm like, yo, it's not that deep.
No. It does be that deep. And the reason why I say that is because I ask her a question that requires a specific answer, and she'll give me a figurative answer. I'm sorry, I'm not here right now. I need you to respond to this question specifically because it's a specific question,
right, not
figuratively. Don't give me...
Okay, we're not going back there. But yes, it was a struggle for us. It was... a lot of nights where we really had to just get down and pray about how we can fix our communication. Not in terms of we're not communicating, we just need to figure out how to properly communicate with each other and the way that we communicate. So I had a lot of growing to do in terms of not being so general and actually putting thought into what I'm saying for him to understand my point of view. And for him to kind of sometimes dial it back a bit so, we can be on the same page. Because for me, certain situations is not that deep, that he makes it extremely deep. So he had to pull back and I had to give a little more to get that, that even balance. And I feel like now we have it.
Yeah, it's much better now. Because she knows me now.
Yeah, now I'm like, hold on, let me think about this word. Is this word going to trigger him to ask an even deeper question? Should I just say it now? And for him, he's like, let me pull it back a little bit and try to understand what she's going through first before I...
Yeah, we definitely have a much better understanding of one another, and I'm very mean what you say what you mean. Mm-hmm. And she was just like very casual.
Yeah,
I said what I said. Okay.
But marriage counseling definitely played a big part. We had marriage counseling with our pastor. Premarital counseling with our pastor. So I definitely recommend premarital counseling for anyone
looking to get married.
It was great for us, and it was crazy because we realized in premarital counseling that we've already been asking each other those questions, from the beginning. But going a little deeper was the best part for us.
And having someone listen in as that objective ear to be able to see what's going on and mediate the situation was extremely helpful. So definitely recommend premarital counseling to anyone who's looking to get married or who may be engaged.
How do your needs and expectations differ? Okay, this one's also something that we struggled with as well. Shamor and I have what is called two different love languages.
Totally different.
So the way he communicates love is like night and day for the way I communicate love. Shamor is much more affectionate than I am. He's very affectionate. He loves to be told that he's loved. He loves to be told that he's loved. He loves to say he's loved. I love you. Like, he's very affectionate. Where me, on the other hand, I am not affectionate at all. I've never been my whole entire life. I've never been affectionate my whole entire life. The way I show love is by doing things or giving things to you. Like, I feel like if I give you my last dollar, my last burger, my last anything, or if I just give you something in general, like even for Christmas, when we first got together, like I got him like 20 gifts.
She loaded me up with gifts.
Loaded, because that was just my way of expressing love. And it was very hard for us to kind of join that together, because he's like, you don't tell me you love me. And I'm like, but I just bought you these.
Yeah, and like, I appreciate the giving. I appreciate the gifts that I received. And, but it just, that doesn't really register or come across to me as love. I gotta hear it. And that's one thing for men. A lot of men aren't really in touch with their emotions to the point where they can effectively communicate how they're feeling about a particular situation. That's not me. I'm not emotional, but I'm very in touch with my emotions to the point where I need to be told that I'm loved. And men need validation just as much as women do.
Right.
We need to be told that we're handsome. We need to be told that we look like we've been in the gym. And that works for me. You don't have to buy me anything, honestly. I appreciate gifts. I accept them, but you don't have to buy me anything. Just tell me you love me. Tell me, I got that nice pump going on. And my day is made.
But yeah, so that definitely was a struggle for us in the beginning, trying to understand each other's love languages and how, we communicate love to each other. There was times where he was like, I don't think you love me. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm showing everything that I have.
Like, but you never said it.
So I highly suggest that, you guys sit down and ask each other, like, hey, how do you like to be loved?
Yeah. And that speaks to the sacrifice element of marriage, which is the most important thing. Someone may have pride, they may be guarded emotionally and not able to just openly express their love, by saying I love you. Even though something as simple as that, which could make your partner's day, you have whatever you have going on internally that's preventing you from expressing your love to the person that you're with in the way in which they could receive it. Mm-hmm. And that can blow things really out of proportion. That can create huge problems in your marriage or your relationship.
Mm-hmm. So definitely focus on love languages and ask each other, like, how can I show you I love you? How can I tell you? Like, just have that open communication, because what you don't want to happen is that someone in the relationship is feeling unloved and they're not saying anything about it, to where it blows up later down the line and the other spouse is like, out of the blue, what are you talking about? I thought I was doing it correctly. Mm-hmm. Like, you always want to have that open communication. So even for me, like, even now I have to catch myself. Oh, I didn't say Shamar looked good, or I didn't tell him I love him. Let me get on that, because, I also want to make sure that I'm giving just as much as he's giving me.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay.
Oh, you didn't read the question out loud.
No, I didn't.
Read the question out? Oh, okay.
Okay, so I don't remember what question number this is. Question. How often do you sit down as a couple simply to talk to one another?
I would say for us, we talk all the time. But, in terms of like deep, intimate conversations, we don't like schedule those. Maybe we should.
Shamar, we have those conversations.
We do,
all the time.
but what I'm saying is, like, there are times where we just get so occupied with life and the kids and bills and just life in general, to the point where we kind of forget that we need to come together. Mm-hmm. But we do. We always make it happen. But sometimes a few days or maybe even a week or two can go by. Like we haven't actually got together and had an intimate conversation. Like, how are you doing? Like, what's up?
We used to, before the kids.
Yeah, man.
Before the kids, one thing that we used to do all the time, and we should go, now this video is exposing us, we should definitely go back to doing this, is every week, I don't remember the particular day, but we used to go to each other and we'd say, how
you doing? You okay?
No, it was something else. We used to be like,
that's what
am I doing it? Like,
oh, yeah. All right, so, yes. I would check on her to see how I'm doing. Like, hey, how am I doing? Like, is there anything I'm not doing? Anything I need to do more of?
Mm-hmm. And then I would do the same thing. Like, hey, is there anything that I'm lacking in? Is there anything that I'm slacking in? And we literally did that every single week, to the point where some weeks I'm like, no, Shamor, there's nothing changed from last week to this week.
And then some weeks I just be like, I'm waiting for her to ask me. Oh, I can't wait till she asks me what she doing, because I'm going to say it. And it opens up the platform for communication that's much needed, man.
Yeah.
And it just avoids a lot of times that awkward, like, should I bring it up now? Because you could bring something up that's been on your heart for a few days, and then you bring it up to them like, oh, you want to talk about this right now?
Yeah.
Yes, this needs to be addressed right now. Oh, but it's not a good time. It's always a good time to address what someone's feeling. Don't ever put life and little trivial things ahead of your partner's feelings and emotional condition.
Okay, so now that we're exposed, every Thursday we'll go back to doing what we used to do, and we'll go and ask each other. But normally, Shamor and I, we are the true definition of lovers and friends. Like,
I can usually sense when something's not right with her, and vice versa. She can sense when something's not right with me. I think that's something that's just acquired with time. Because if I'm not right in my spirit, if I'm just not right internally, she usually picks up on
what's
it.
wrong with you?
And I'll be like, nothing.
You're not about to act like I'm stupid.
She will stop me in my tracks. You're not going anywhere. You're not going to the gym. You're not leaving until we have this conversation, because I'm not going to be dealing with this later. All right, man. All right. I keep telling you, stop parking the car with the steering wheel turn. I keep telling you, it grinds my gears. When you park the car, have the wheel straight. Because then when I'm backing out, I don't need the car going this way. I'm trying to go back.
Okay. No, but on a serious tip, you have to have that.
I'm about to die. But go ahead, finish it up.
You have to have that friendship aspect in your marriage, because it just makes it all the better for conversation. Shamor and I, we don't talk about things like on an intense level all the time, but we talk all the time. So even if it's not an intense, we're still getting information out. We're still communicating with each other. We're still, keeping that flame within our friendship, because sometimes you don't want to get to a position where you guys are not friends and you go outside of your marriage or outside of your relationship to start talking to people about what you guys have going on in your household, and that's the no. That's one thing that you don't want to do. So I
think some good advice that our pastor gave us, he was like, make sure that you're laughing every day with your partner. You should be laughing about something every day. He was like, once the laugh.
Okay, so our camera died. Little disclaimer if you see a difference in the video, but we had to get this video out, so we're going to just pick up right where we left off.
Okay. Yeah, I think some of the best advice that we ever received was from our pastor back at our church in Jersey. He said during our premarital counseling that you should be laughing with your partner every single day. Every single day, you need to find time to laugh with each other and just, keep that friendship going. And that's one of the most important elements, for a marriage.
And that's literally what we strive to do every single day. There's not a day that goes by where we're not laughing. Even if in the beginning of the day, one of us woke up on the wrong side of the bed, we always make sure that we'll either help that other person get better.
Yeah.
Or, it's never good when you see your partner has a little bit of an attitude and then you get an attitude because they have attitude. Like that, we've tried that, it didn't work. Yeah. So
we had to learn.
We had to definitely learn to understand one another. If one of us is not feeling the best, give them a little bit of space, give me a little bit of space if needed. Pray for them until, they come around, and then we go back to laughing, joking, having a good time. We find things that we like to do together.
Yeah.
So yeah. Next question. As a couple, do you have a conscious strategy or game plan for resolving your differences?
We didn't, but as we learned and we grew together, we definitely adopted one. And it's just, keeping a level head. When we used to have arguments before, her, first reaction would be to just get defensive and explode.
And leave
the room and leave the house, wherever we were, she was leaving.
Leave him?
And I used to be like, man, that ain't helping nobody. And I used to I'm a digger. I gotta get to the bottom of it. We have to resolve this. We need to fix this problem. And then there'll be times where I just need space right now. I'm like, no, space is not what you need. We need to, figure this out. We're gonna figure this out. I don't care how mad you are, you're going to calm down and we're going to fix this. And I think that's just, men, we're problem solvers. So if we see that there's a problem, space, I don't necessarily believe is the option, but sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it has its place.
Yeah, but for us, we definitely, you kind of came up with the strategy.
Yeah, I think the most important thing when it comes to a difference of opinion, an argument, in a marriage, the most important thing And for my prideful people out there, you're not going to like this one, but it is what it is. When it comes to an argument or any type of differences that you're having, the easiest way to resolve the problem is to stop pointing the finger at your partner and identify what it is that you did wrong or what you could have done better, and then they do the same. And I promise you, the situation will de-escalate and it will be resolved in a matter of minutes. Don't scream at each other. Just take accountability.
So, for example, say him and I, we just got into each other. We just got into it. First of all, the first step is... Shut up. The first step is to figure out who's going to come to who first, because that's also the biggest thing. Like, who, if you guys had an argument and you guys stopped talking for a second, who's going to be the first one to suck up their pride and try to smash it? It's usually me. Lie.
I'll plead the fifth on that one. I'm not gonna...
It's usually me. Because he came up with this, I took the role of being the first one to say, okay, look, argument got a little out of control. Let's sit, let's pray, and let's figure out how we can resolve this. So I'll go, hey, so look, I'm sorry for screaming at that moment, or I'm sorry for saying what I said, or I'm sorry for how I made you feel, or I'm sorry for whatever the case may be. It wasn't my intentions. This is what I actually meant, or this is what I was trying to get across. And then he doesn't go, yeah, good, I accept your apology. He goes,
yeah, I say, okay, I appreciate you taking accountability. This is what I did wrong. I apologize. And moving forward in the future, I'll be more mindful not to do this so that situations don't get to where they are. And
then we hug.
Yeah. And then it's just
we beat each other up because we're mad at each other for making each other mad at each other.
Yeah. She usually swing at me a couple times. Those little don't make me upset anymore. Stop doing that shit more. You're making me upset.
But yeah, we found that instead of pointing the finger at each other, we point a finger at ourselves. Ari, get out of here. Come on. All right.
Cool. Never clean. I'm trying to act like you clean now.
We point the finger at ourselves first.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, because if you're just pointing a finger at someone all day, that gets really annoying and it gets really old really fast.
People feel misunderstood.
Yeah. It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
And you're not just arguing because one person did something wrong. Sometimes that is the case. But you both just have to be honest and you both have to want to resolve the problem. If you both don't want to resolve the problem and there's one party who just isn't working, that's maybe something you might want to reevaluate.
And we're not saying that, conversations, arguments are over in a day. Sometimes it takes a few days for us to get to the bottom line, and not to where we're not speaking to each other. Where you definitely don't want to go, a night where you're sleeping, cold. One of us sleep on this side, other sleep on this side.
It's happened.
Oh, definitely it's happened, but we've grown from it to where this is something that we don't do. Everything is a learning curve, but you definitely don't want to go to sleep mad at your partner. So even if, you got to suck up your pride and just hold each other at night, you're still upset about what's going on in the morning, you guys talk it out, whatever the case, until you get to the bottom line. And obviously prayer heals all. So we're not going to ramble too much about that. We're going to get into the last question. The last question is, you want to read it?
Okay.
I'll start because I know what I do for you.
All right. Is there anything that you can do to help your spouse achieve his or her goals and become the person God wants him or her to be?
Ooh, yes. Yes. So in our situation, as I said before, Shamor is in school right now full time. He just made the dean's list. Anyway, so I feel, God has called him to do something that's going to be very amazing, very powerful. For me as a wife, I feel like I'm there for him. I need to be there for him every step of the way. If that's organizing his homework and organizing his tests, organizing, the dates as to when he needs to start studying for something and when he needs to work around doing something else. Like, I feel like I am his organizer to keep him on track, to know, okay, this is set for study time, but this is set for your time alone with God. And sometimes I'll take the kids, I'll feed them, I'll put them to bed, I'll do what I need to do just so he can have his time for his growth, for what he needs to do to lead this family.
Yeah.
So,
and aside from being my wife manager, which she does, really well, I wouldn't be able to operate a function without her doing that, because I'm just not that type of an organized person. And at the time I tried, I failed miserably. I missed assignments and everything. It was bad. But
I was so mad.
I was like, you didn't put it up on my board. I didn't even remember. But aside from that, just her being in my life, honestly, has motivated me and pushed me to want to be the man that God has called me to be. Sometimes it's not until you meet that person to where you start realizing that, I have to do more. I have to work harder. And just her being in my life honestly motivated me to just want to just work harder and be the best person that I can be for the Lord, for her, and for our family. So, yeah. And
sometimes I'll, like, in the morning when he first wakes up and he goes for that phone.
Oh, let me say it. I'll reach my phone. She'll know what I'll be doing. I'll be checking the time, or she'll just assume that I'm going to check social media. I appreciate her for this. It's annoying in the moment, though. She'll say, did you pray today? Why are you touching that phone? Did you go and talk to God? I'll be like, I was about to turn off my alarm. I wasn't about to, scroll social media.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes she catch me, but when she don't is when they be like. But she, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And, she's absolutely right. And I'll be like, okay, cool. And she'll be like, what you need to do is go study for that test. What you need to do is go work on that homework. It's annoying, and I wish that she, she's gotten better. She communicates it a little bit more, less mommy-ish. But she's gotten better, and she does it a little more wife-ish now, wife-like.
Lifelike.
She like, hey, Shmo, you really need to, go work on that homework assignment. And I'll be like, okay, baby, no problem. And she's like, did you do that homework? I'll be like, no, and I'm not going to do it. No. That's how it be sometimes.
No, but it's just great to, hold each other accountable for the things that we say we're going to do, for the things we want to do, and the things that we know we should be doing. And I know for a fact that we should be giving our first time to God. It's the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's not the hardest thing in the world to do, but sometimes you kind of get beside yourself and, you look at your phone or you start doing other things and then you never really give your time to God, or you try to squeeze them in at night. But yeah, so I try to make sure that the both of us are on track, making sure that if we wake up before the kids, we pray, we try to get some Bible time in and give our first time to God. Is there anything that you do for me? You talk me off the ledge every day.
Yeah. She has, her business ventures, and I can see from the outside looking in that it gets extremely stressful. Her work is considerably tedious, and sometimes she gets overwhelmed. And she's like, Shamor, I just, sometimes I just have to ground her, let her know and reassure her that, she's doing great. Being that I'm looking from the outside in, I can see the progress and the growth that she may not necessarily be able to see. So I just have to remind her of that, reassure her, let her know that she's doing well and she's doing great. And and just motivate and support her in what she does. And that's what we have to do. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean you have to be a yes person. If your spouse wants to do something that's just totally absurd, doesn't mean that you have to support everything that they want to do. That's just false.
We got a video on that coming up.
Yeah,
one of our biggest arguments, one that almost we didn't make it to the altar, almost, because of this argument. We're going to do a separate video on that and how we overcame. Obviously we overcame it, but
here we are.
It did teach us a lot about our roles in a marriage and submission as a wife. So if you want to understand how I came to completely submitting myself to my husband and the struggles and how I overcame it, you definitely don't want to miss that video.
That's vital, for women, and it's also vital for men to know. Man, we're gonna get into that on the next video. I'm not even about to do it. So
he has another video coming out of, Christian men, how do they know they're ready for marriage, and how you are to act in a marriage and to be the leader of your family. So
I think
don't want to miss those videos.
Yeah, I think that about sums up today's video, right?
Pretty much.
Okay, so that's the video. We hope that you guys enjoyed. We hope that you guys were able to benefit from our experiences. We hope that you guys were able to benefit and learn from the biblical principles that we apply to our life and our marriage, ultimately to serve and glorify God. And just keep coming back. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna have to get you at the end of the video.
Before, because we have to do a little plug to shout out a good friend of mine. I met her through our women's prayer group, which is Women Ablaze. Shout out to Women Ablaze. But yes, her name is Erica, and she has an amazing business, and she has apparel, she does poetry, she does inspirational, everything that you need to help aid your walk with Christ. On her page, it says, "The anchor holds is more than a symbol, logo, or song. It's a lifestyle. It is a constant reminder to stay grounded in God no matter the circumstance. Their mission is to spread hope one word at a time, and they aim to do this in every way possible. They started as a blog site sharing poems, inspirational stories, quotes, and scriptures. Now they have expanded to social media platforms and act in an actual business to spread hope through apparels and accessories. It isn't about them, it's about you. And they want you to experience the hope of God every second, minute, hour, day, month, and year of your life. And let's weather the storm together." So we have these amazing, we have these amazing shirts. The anchor holds, spreading hope one word at a time. They have black and white. She has face masks. She has everything. So I will definitely leave her links down below, her Instagram and her Etsy link. And yeah, let's support Christian businesses. Let's support our Christian brothers and sisters.
Because we know the world ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, so that concludes our video today. We hope you enjoyed. We know it's a little choppy. We have, our camera died. So thank you for sticking with it, and thank you for sticking with us. If you're new, again, make sure you like and comment and subscribe. And if you're returning, thank you for sticking with us through our video, and we hope to see you on the next one.
I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill.
Are you really?
I'm going to chill.
Thank